Take a deep breath in. And on the outward breath, allow your eyelids to close. That's it. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just get a sense that tension, stress, anxiety is leaving your body in your outward breath. That's it. On the next inward breath in, imagine that you're breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation as a color, a bright, vibrant color. Imagine it going in through your nose, filling your lungs. And as you exhale, just get a sense that a darker color is leaving your body, representing any tension, stress, worries that are leaving your body in your outward breath, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. As you breathe in and breathe out, you become increasingly aware of the sound of my voice. The sound of my voice enables you to focus on echoes of tension in your body. Everyone has tension. Without tension, you couldn't walk or talk or move. But everyone also has echoes of tension that even when you're still and stationary and not moving, the tension that was useful before can still remain. So as you breathe in and breathe out, get a sense of where that tension is for you. Perhaps the muscles in the forehead, around the eyes, perhaps the jaw. As you breathe in that resourceful feeling of relaxation, just get a sense that you're choosing to let go of that tension now. That's it. And as you let go of even just a tiny amount of that tension, it becomes easier to breathe in, effortless to breathe out. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you're able to go. And as your physical body relaxes, your imagination becomes more activated, more playful. For too long, tension has been created from conflict. The conflict of different voices with different opinions inside your own mind as to what you should do, what you must do, what you have to do. Part of you knows that there is a future where you can be both slim and happy. And yet there's another part that feels that certain foods is essential for you to enjoy life. These different voices create different feelings of uncertainty, stress, tension. And I want you to allow those voices to just relax and open their minds to a future where you get to reconnect with that part of you that knew how to make great choices. I want you to use the power of your imagination to remember a time when you were in a ski resort, perhaps the side of a mountain, surrounded by snow, blue skies, wooden buildings. I want you to get a sense that only this time it's just you. Maybe you can imagine walking on the snow, or perhaps you're wearing skis, but you're outside in nature, breathing that crisp, fresh air, seeing the blueness of the skies. That's it. Perhaps hearing the sound of your feet crunch into the fresh snow. As you look on the horizon, seeing impressive mountains, landscape, snow-topped trees. And here in this place with no one else around, I want you to get a sense of deep tranquility and relaxation. That here in this moment you can just breathe in and breathe out, enabling you to fully and completely relax. I want you to imagine that somewhere nearby is a chalet, a villa, or a cabin. And I want you to imagine that this cabin is a cabin of change. Imagine walking up to the door, and I will count from 5 to 1, and you will imagine leaving the fresh, crisp air of this environment outside, surrounded by snow, into a warm, cozy cabin. Starting to count 5, standing outside of a wooden door. 4, putting your hand on the handle, perhaps turning the handle. 3, opening the door. 2, walking through that door, and 1, closing the door behind you. And imagine now that you're in that cabin. It's warm. Maybe there's a fire, some kind of heating, but you feel warm and cozy in this cabin. I want you to get a sense that this cabin will enable you to reactivate you at your most resourceful. I want you to imagine there is a sofa, a chair, very comfortable here in this place. And I want you to make yourself comfortable on that chair, that sofa. When you're there, let me know by nodding your head. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and you will imagine what it would be like to fall asleep there in that cabin. 5, eyelids getting heavier and heavier. 4, tension around the neck and the shoulder just melting away. 3, arms and legs limp and loose. 2, even as you breathe in, your lungs, your heart, your stomach all relax completely. That's it. And then 1 and then 0. Imagine what it would be like to fall asleep there in that cabin. And inside your dream, revisit a memory of you at your most resourceful. It doesn't have to have anything to do with food or eating or losing weight, just a time where you could trust yourself to make great choices. You knew what it was that you wanted, and it was effortless for you to make those choices. It came from a place of not having to do things and should be doing things, but you wanting to do those things. And as you access that memory and recall that moment, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine climbing into that version of you from perhaps months or years ago, and feeling what it feels like to be able to trust your decisions from a place of it guiding your life in the very direction that you want to go. I want you to get a sense that from that place, you don't have to push. It's almost like you're being pulled towards a particular destination. As you think back to those snow-topped mountains outside the cabin, I want you to get a sense of how much effort is required to go up a mountain compared to skiing down a mountain. I want you to get a sense that for a while now, you've been trying to lose weight by climbing up the mountain to fight resistance. to deprive your body of things that it likes or enjoys, rather than working with your body. I want you to get a sense that here at you at your most resourceful is you allowing you to trust your intuition to make choices that are for the greater good, for the long-term benefit. And when you make choices from that place, doesn't it feel like you're skiing down the mountain rather than climbing it? I want you to locate where you feel this resourceful feeling, this ability to make good choices without having to think too much. And just point to that location. I want you to get a sense that from this place, we're going to activate this in a new area of your life. Hold on to that feeling there in your chest, there in your heart. And then put yourself in a different position. Now imagine that you're in the kitchen in this cabin. And you've decided to create momentum, to get the ball rolling, to move your life incrementally into profound positive directions. I want you to imagine that this fridge is filled with the most delicious food that trains your body to burn fat. That the cupboards are filled with unlimited amounts of food that again trains your body to burn fat. Imagine opening the fridge and seeing organic, fresh eggs, Greek yogurt, different meats and cheeses, maybe creams. I want you to get a sense that it isn't about what you have to eat. It's about what you want to eat. I want you to make choices based on two things: what you enjoy and what trains your body to burn fat. There may be food that trains your body to burn fat that you don't enjoy, in which case let's not eat that. And there may be food that exists that you really enjoy but doesn't train your body to burn fat. And for now, let's ignore that too. Not because it will never be part of your diet and what you eat, but simply because we're going to train your body to burn fat. We're going to lift an invisibility cloak away from those body fat cells that have been hidden under a cloak of carbohydrates and sugar. I want you to accept the suggestion that as your refined sugar and refined carbohydrates goes down, you're lifting the invisibility cloak from those body fat cells, and then your body starts to see that there is this incredible source of energy already in your body. There are two things that activate your body's ability to feed on this body fat that you've already stored from a long time ago. A low sugar environment, but also a calorie deficit. And what's the easiest way to figure out if you're in a calorie deficit? You might feel hungry more often than you normally would. I want you to accept that feeling hungry is a clue that you're training your body to burn fat. It doesn't mean you can't eat. You just want to continue eating the foods that train your body to burn even more fat. You'll have your meals a day and you'll have the occasional snack, but even the occasional snack trains your body to burn even more fat. in that cabin, in that resort, I want you to imagine making a delicious meal that simultaneously trains your body to burn fat. And when that meal is completed and it's all ready to be eaten, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. I want you to notice how delicious this meal looks. This doesn't require discipline to eat this food. It's delicious food. That's why you chose this food. It's delicious and also trains your body to burn fat. I want you to imagine that nearby is bread rolls, freshly baked, perhaps crackers. I want you to, as you look at this food, drain all the colour out of them. Turn them grey and black and white. And then look back at this incredible meal that you've created. And just accept the suggestion that it's not that you can't have this other food, it's just that you don't want it. Given the choice of eating food that you enjoy and helps you to lose weight, compared to other foods that you enjoy that don't, this could be the easiest decision that you've ever have to make. I want to communicate to the part now that has craved bread in the past. When that part is in control, and I'm talking to that part, let me know by nodding your head. I know you have concerns of so-called diets, this fear of being deprived, this fear of playing silly games that you're not going to stick to anyway. But I think you also accept that joy, pleasure, gratification does not just come from food. It can come from a sense of pride when you look at yourself in the mirror. It can come from a sense of accomplishment, of achieving something difficult and challenging. It can come from a place of becoming the best possible version of you. And I know that if I said that there is never to be any bread and processed food ever again, perhaps you may fight back and insist, create even stronger cravings to enable that choice to be made. But I'm wondering if we can come to a compromise. That for now, the pleasure comes from seeing progress on this weight loss journey, training the body to burn fat, building momentum and streaks in those meals that are delicious but also train the body to burn more and more fat. And as the fat gets converted into energy, as the body weight goes down, we start introducing more and more of these foods that perhaps are pleasurable, because at that point the body will need energy from other sources other than just protein and meat and vegetables. And if that sounds like a fair compromise, then it's not all or nothing, but as body fat goes down and we introduce other foods, if you're on board with this idea, let me know by nodding your head. And in return, since you're the expert at pleasure and joy and gratification, I need your help to make these meals that train the body to burn fat more delicious and more tantalizing, more tempting than ever before. I need you to come up with creative ideas, not to eat other things instead, but to come up with original recipes and ideas and foods that may be high in protein, or the kind of foods that train the body to burn fat. Because in order to truly change a body shape, the The journey has to be just as pleasurable as the destination. And if you're willing to be a part of this process rather than excluded for the next few months, to be chief of staff of pleasure, minister of joy, the general of fun, so that we make this journey as enjoyable as it can be, just let me know by nodding your head. And if it's okay if I now communicate to the part that really wants to lose weight, just allow yourself to switch roles, and when I'm back talking to that part, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine a future now. A future where over the next few days, weeks and months, the journey is pleasurable. It's not what you have to eat, it's what you get to eat. You enjoy the food, and you enjoy it even more knowing that it's training your body to burn fat. And in doing so, I want you to get a sense that progress might not be guaranteed every single day, but slowly but surely, by enjoying delicious foods that also trains your body to reveal that hidden source of energy inside your own body, I want you to think about a future that you're heading towards. I want you to look into your crystal ball and imagine what you will look like, perhaps 6 or 12 months into the future, of not just forcing your body to lose weight, but training your body to lose weight. That ideal combination of delicious food that simultaneously helps your body seek out that body fat stored in your own internal battery supply of energy. And then imagine that you build momentum. It gets easier and easier. And maybe it's 6 or 12 months in the future, and I want you to see yourself like you're someone else. See that version of you that has successfully lost that body fat. See you wearing the clothes you want to see you wear. See your body posture in a confident pose. See your facial expressions looking proud, accomplished, and confident. Your skin is glowing. You're wearing exactly the clothes that you would wear perhaps if you were hosting a dinner party in the future when you've lost the weight. And imagine hearing the other people in that dinner party paying you compliments of how good you look and how much weight you've lost. And look at your face light up. A sense of pride, accomplishment, but also gratitude that you found a way to lose weight and enjoy the process. I want you to get a sense that that future version of you doesn't require undoing something new. The new thing here is not the approach, but the relationship with yourself. This relationship is not going to be based on struggle and control. It's going to be based on enjoyment and harmony. And if all parts of your unconscious mind accept that that's what makes this new, let me know by nodding your head. You're now working with yourself rather than against yourself. You're not forcing your body to lose fat. You're working with your body to use that biochemical system in your body so that your body sees that body fat not as shame, not as embarrassment, but as energy, fuel that you can use to take your life in positive, empowering, motivating directions. And if at any point this journey doesn't become fun or enjoyable, that part responsible for joy and fun will come up with interesting ways to make it fun again for you. And when you get to the end, that version of you that lost all that weight, I want you to accept one final key suggestion: that perfection was not necessary. In fact, progress was more important than perfection to get to that body shape. The occasional setback and change of diet was necessary. Too much control is out of control, and balance is okay, as bumps in the road along the journey of training your body to burn fat. And if you accept that perfection is a hindrance to this journey, let me know by nodding your head. And then climb inside that version of you, the version of you that has successfully already lost the weight. Feel how good it feels to be at this weight. Walk to a full-length mirror and see yourself at that body shape, feeling with that level of energy, that level of confidence, that level of pride, and realize you didn't need to be perfect to get here, just consistent. And that as your body fat started to reduce, you started reintroducing other foods slowly and surely into your diet that enabled you to make this not all or nothing, but as you lose body fat, your food goes back to just a healthy, enjoyable way of living. I want you to get a sense that you have unlocked the resources to become this person. And then find yourself back in that cabin, getting up out of that chair or sofa, but feeling like something has changed, that you have unlocked a resolve, a motivation, a determination to eat the kind of foods that train your body to burn fat, but enjoying the process while you're doing it. And if all parts accept that this is a project, a mission, a fun adventure that you're going on, just let me know by nodding your head. Now it's time to return to the present, but taking all of that resources and harmony with you. And very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, but take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in the present in your own physical body right now. As I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling resourceful, feeling motivated, with clarity as to what you're doing, but also where you're going. And that the journey has to be just as enjoyable as the destination. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.